Welcome, friends of the true self. Welcome to another episode of the Yogasutra. And this is a really heroic quest that you are on in this discovery of your true self. It is you not just knowing that you are consciousness, but wanting to find the perspective of yourself being consciousness. It is that you are not any longer believing yourself to be the small person inside of the body that is trying to somehow come into contact with consciousness. It is this going all in and wanting to find out your true self, which is the perspective of consciousness. It is looking from awareness, looking from this vaster stance on all of life, and seeing through this constructed sense of self. And one of the, I find, really good ways for contemplation, but in this rediscovery, is if you imagine what it is like when you watch a movie or when you watch a television series, and sometimes you are really grasped, right? There's the movie or whatever takes you inside. You feel as if you're part of the movie, and you're tensing up on your couch, and you feel really, really somehow identified. This is the identification. You feel identified with what is happening in the movie. And then you settle back. You settle back and you remember, hey, I'm actually just sitting on the couch watching this movie. I'm not at all in it. And it's the same kind of extraction that is happening on the journey of your self-discovery. It is the extraction from feeling identified with this character inside of the movie, remembering yourself, this vaster self that is actually witnessing, that is aware of this, like you sitting on the couch, remembering yourself. And this distance to, for example, the movies or the series that are on your television offered, is that you also have a chance to switch channels. What you are observing is no longer who you take yourself to be. What you are observing is not necessarily what you want to watch. You have a chance to switch channels. Distance, you know this from even this daily life. Distance helps you actually detach and also bring in something different. Switch the channel. Have something else happening. And this whole notion of identification, almost like an actor that gets so engrossed with their role, it's difficult for them to actually remember what they are in truth. It's the same with you being consciousness, that the mind and the momentum that you've been on so deeply entrenched that you forget. You forget the vast intelligence that is you primarily. And 2000 years ago, they didn't have, obviously, movies and television to help you have something to contemplate about this illusionary sense of self. And so this Yoga Sutra talks about what else is there that everyone can relate to. And so Patanjali says, use the support of dreams, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Now, when you are in dreams, it is almost like you watching the movie. being, wow, this happens in the movie, right? It's the same. You are in your dreams. You're completely identified with the dream. You are just in the dream. You believe the dream is real. The dream is, you believe that what you are seeing and sensing is also you, like it, that even revolves around you. It's not about another person or something. You think this is you, what you are experiencing. The experience seems to be you. The sensations seem to be yours. The thoughts seem to be yours. The story is yours. And then the next morning you wake up and you come to realize, oh, it was just a dream. It was not real. It is the same. This awakening is the same kind of process. And deep sleep is another very good state to contemplate about. And why is that? Because in deep sleep, the sense of the egoic identity isn't present. It's not there. And there are no thoughts. And yet you still exist. You still are this undeniable. You're just asleep. You're just not having these kind of thoughts that help the identity actually be coming into place. It's just deep sleep. There's still presence. There's still existence. And why this is so helpful is that in a moment in which there are no thoughts, for example, when you stop thoughts, like consciously halt the mind, but in these gaps in which there are no thoughts, presence is still there. Existence is still there. You still are. And if you can focus your attention on these gaps and come to realize, wow, there is something that exists literally in a gap, when there are no thoughts, there is something that exists that I am prior to thoughts, before these thoughts come up. Then you also start to have this distance. You start to understand there is a distance, there is a me, and then these thoughts that come up, these thoughts that occupy my mind, the mind as such. So there's something that exists prior. So in the same way, deep sleep can be a helpful tool to contemplate, helpful tool for you to meditate on what exists prior to thought. What about me is changeless? And what about me is truly actually always present, always existing, independent of thoughts, independent of mind, independent of form. So it is always a deepening, a stepping back. And the more you do this, the more you see this life as this movie that is playing itself out, your YouTube, whatever it is, the politics, whatever is going on, it has this quality that obviously it is also happening. And like with a movie, you can be very engaged in it and enjoy it. But there's also more and more of an understanding of this changing, illusionary quality of form, of manifestation, of thought, of the changing part within this world. And so he says, for your awakening, for your contemplation, for understanding yourself deeper, use sleep, deep sleep, use these understanding of deep sleep and dream can be super helpful for you. Namaste.